If your focus is flowing to downplaying whatever it is, the accomplishments, you're going to downplay the accomplishments so much so that you'll never actually feel any celebratory wins that are so important for that feedback loop that you need as you go out and endeavor to actually do or have an accomplishment.
Her starting to actually acknowledge what she's doing well and double down on that and change some of the things that she was really criticizing herself for allowed her to have a really big transformation in her life and with her family. Hey everybody, it's Bianca.
And it's Emilia.
Welcome to another episode of Evolve Ventures, where we are helping growth-minded humans evolve by breaking one limiting belief at a time. We hope you enjoyed the last episode, number 242. Are they a narcissist? For today, number 243, Motivation Monday, how to stop downplaying your accomplishments. This is a topic that I talk about with every single client. I have yet to have a client where I did not have to kind of lovingly bully them into giving themselves credit where they deserve it and really giving themselves that sense of praise and validation for the accomplishments that they've had. And I'm certain you've dealt with the same thing. I think we as human beings for so long have been convinced not to be cocky. Don't talk about yourself. Don't talk highly of yourself. Don't celebrate yourself. You're going to seem arrogant. Yeah. And there's been this aura of like, oh, you know, the really confident people are not confident. Like this desirability around stoicism of like, I don't acknowledge my own greatness. And I think it is so flawed because so many of us have now gotten to the point where we don't celebrate anything about ourselves. And then we all wonder why we don't feel confident, why we don't feel secure, why we don't feel good about ourselves. And I've had, you know, the same experience within my own life. And I've spent a lot of time and effort kind of forcing myself to have to celebrate myself and to recognize my accomplishments. And it's made all the difference in the world. So what we're going to dive into today is, how do you actually start doing that? How do you start acknowledging your wins and stop downplaying the accomplishments that you do have?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest cheat codes that a lot of people don't leverage is an outside accountability component of that. So like for me, for example, one of the things that I do in my Evolve journal is every single day, there's an area for me to celebrate my wins. That is an external accountability component that doesn't necessarily come from someone else, but rather it gives me the opportunity to give me that credit and not completely steamroll whatever accomplishments I've had. And I think that that's been an absolute pivotal component to my level of self-confidence and where it's at because of the fact that I've been able to give that to myself. And I know some people that want to fast track their ability to actually have real authentic confidence. One of the biggest components that I'll suggest too, and I was talking about this on a coaching call earlier, is having someone in your corner. If it's not an Evolve journal or if it's not a constant daily prompt where your focus is actually going towards the wins and accomplishments, have someone who naturally has that in their character and they're there to gas you up. You know, they're there to celebrate your wins. They want to hear about your wins, your successes, and also your fail forwards. You know, that's so important. And so starting to do that, right, and do less of downplaying, it is, and it comes down to, where's your focus flowing? If your focus is flowing to downplaying whatever it is, the accomplishments, you're going to downplay the accomplishments so much so that you'll never actually feel any celebratory wins that are so important for that feedback loop that you need as you go out and endeavor to actually do or have an accomplishment, right? So you don't want to leave that on the table. So refocusing that energy can be someone that helps you do that, or something like a journal like that. And I know that that's been super helpful for me and super helpful for clients.
Yeah. When I first got started, I really relied on the people around me because I didn't see myself for the truth. I didn't see myself for the truth of the woman that I was and the person that I was, and the just accomplishments and like the great things that I had done and the person that I was. And so I really did rely on the people around me to help me to see those things. So whether it was Alan and Emilia, whether it was other friends of mine, whether it was some of the people in my family, I asked them, like, what am I doing well? What am I not seeing that you guys are? Or I gave them the permission of, if you hear me, downplaying myself, if you hear me talking poorly of myself, call me out on it. We get so accustomed to shrinking ourselves, thinking that it makes us seem humble or it makes us seem like not big-headed. And we don't want to quote unquote have a big head around other people, but what is that doing to your sense of confidence? What is that doing to your self-belief when you can never acknowledge the good that you do? And then when it comes time to start trying to be confident and change some of these limiting beliefs, because you've been downplaying yourself for so long, you can't gather evidence. You struggle gathering evidence and changing those narratives, which are the two biggest components for actually changing beliefs and for, building that confidence. So giving yourself the permission and giving the people in your life the permission to recognize you, to acknowledge you, to call out the good that you do is a major step in your ability to start finally feeling good about you. And for everyone who's like, I don't deserve to feel good about me, that's a downplay. Why not? Why don't you deserve to feel good about yourself? Oh, well, I'm not an ultra achiever and I don't get up at 5 a.m. and do this, that, and the other thing. Why do you need to do that in order to be good enough?
Yeah.
That same client that I had mentioned at the beginning, I had a call with a client and she was telling me that she feels like a terrible mother because she's not up at 6 a.m. making breakfast for her kids before they get up and doing exercise and doing a journaling prompt and doing all of these things right when she wakes up. I was like, why do you need to do that in order to be good enough?
Yeah.
And I really challenged her on that gentle bullying that I had mentioned. It's very loving. I'm not actually bullying people, but that gentle like poking. And when we were able to strip it down, we were able to see she was comparing herself so much to other people who she believed were better than her. And when we really got down to it and we actually did comparisons, she was able to call out like 20 things that she was doing really well, that she was really proud of. And that allowed her to make a shift in her schedule and in her calendar. Mm-hmm. And then eventually show up even better for her family. And she said that her relationship with her family has significantly improved since then. So think about that. Her starting to actually acknowledge what she's doing well and double down on that and change some of the things that she was really criticizing herself for allowed her to have a really big transformation in her life and with her family. So what will that be for you when you can start really recognizing the good that you do? Even if it's small, start there and then build up.
So important. This is all what we call self-leadership. And this is what Bianca and I do on the one-on-one setting. This is what we implore you to do more of in your life. Because when we're downplaying our own accomplishments, we're communicating to ourselves that we're not worthy of celebration. We're not enough, right? There's the really negative narratives that are reinforced by downplaying those accomplishments. And then if you want to kind of pull another layer back, if you have children or if there's someone that looks up to you or you mentor them, people that you work with that sneaky look up to you, by you downplaying that accomplishment, that gives them the permission slip to downplay their accomplishments too. And so it's this really negative cycle where no one's actually celebrating the hard knocks that we're all growing through, which is what life is, and, I'm not saying pull out a birthday cake and pop champagne every single time, the smallest, most insignificant thing in your life happens, right? Because that's just unsustainable. However, there is a unique formula for you. And it definitely starts with stopping the things that are downplaying your accomplishments, your greatness, your unique potential, and the progress you're making, and upplaying, turning the dial, turning the nozzle up on what you are making progress on, what you are failing forward with, and how deserving you are to make those strides. So we hope that this Motivation Monday helped to motivate you to stop the train of downplaying those accomplishments and gassed you the heck up to start upplaying what progress you are making. So that's all we got for you this Monday. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
What's your episode suggestion?
My episode suggestion for everyone and final takeaway is find people that I put this in the spreadsheet, gas you the F up. And then my final episode suggestion is for our listeners, number 50, how to find your tribe. Because again, getting people around you, putting them in your corner to really light you up and celebrate those wins. It does absolute wonders. You know, and I'm really grateful to have a tribe now after relentlessly looking and attracting that can really celebrate those wins that maybe I might struggle with on those day-to-days. So B, final episode suggestion, takeaway.
110, why don't I feel good enough? How can people get in contact with us?
Y'all, we are one click away. In the show notes, we have the link to our calendars for our free coaching calls that we do every single Saturday. First one's free. We're not going to sell you on anything. We just want to add value to your life. We can also be contacted Instagram, Facebook, all the like. DM us. We have our handles in the show notes. And if you're really feeling it, you know, you can even jump on in Evolve Venture Society, which is our free private Facebook group, which is amazing and getting you around other amazing souls just like yourself.
Happy Monday, everybody. Crush your week, and we will see you next time.
Whoop,
Bye.
whoop. Bye.